Okay, there's a lot of different types of real estate investments. For this question, we're going to include the most common ones. But keep in mind, this is not meant to be a comprehensive list of everything that's available out there. So let's look at this from 4 different categories: residential, commercial, raw land or new construction, and real estate investment trusts. Okay, first, residential. The one that most people usually start out with when they think of real estate investing is single family. After all, it is the one that people are more comfortable with. You buy a single family house, you rent it out. This asset type is also the one that Phil and I started out with too. Next, we got multifamily. There are duplexes, triplexes, quadruplexes, and then you've got commercial multifamily, and that is basically 5 units and above. People in the industry also use the term doors to describe how big of a multifamily asset it is. They're apartments. This is the kind of asset class that we focus on. Then you've got house hacking. What this is essentially you buy a multifamily, usually a duplex, and you yourself live in it while renting out the other portions of the property. You rely on the rental income to offset the mortgage while you front the down payment. This is very, very common in big metropolitan areas like New York City. Next, you've got vacation homes or short-term rentals. This includes your typical Airbnb. The rules on this vary by states, and with the recent boom on working remotely, this asset type is getting more love. But last but not least, you've got mobile home parks. These are basically multifamily units but with mobile homes. Now, the rules on this one are also different than multifamily given the difference in nature of the actual physical dwelling. Okay, next up, we've got commercial. These properties generally hold longer leases. On this one, we've got offices. An example of this is like a company like Google having satellite offices in cities like Portland. They rent that space versus owning or building it. That is typically reserved for their headquarters. Then you've got industrial and warehouses. So on warehouses, think Amazon warehouses. That's one of the reasons why they can ship so quickly. They rent warehouses in various parts of the country and store their stock there. Retail. Retail includes businesses that sell goods or service to the public. So these are your restaurants, your hair salons, your clothing stores, or grocery stores. These include big shopping malls or simply even those commercial retail spaces smack dab in the middle of residential neighborhoods. Now, in most major cities, you also see these mixed-use assets like a building with a restaurant on the bottom floor and then apartments above them. Last on this list, hotels. Yep, those are your Hyatt hotels, your Marriott, IHG brands, or even Motel 6. Next category is raw land and new construction. These are exactly what it sounds like. These are land that hasn't been developed but is allocated for some sort of use. The land itself is zoned for a certain use and can be traded or developed. The nice thing about investing in raw land is that you don't really have to manage it in any way. It's not going anywhere and no one lives on it. But the downside of raw land is that if you don't plan to develop it, it's pure speculation since it doesn't generate any income and you have property tax expenses on it. Now, farms and ranches, you actually do have a business that's being developed on it. Okay, next we've got real estate investment trusts or REITs. They are paper assets backed by income-generating real estate. Now, REITs can be easily found on the stock market. They're bought and sold just like a stock. This makes owning shares in REITs extremely simple. There are many types of REITs for the different types of existing real estate assets. So things like medical facilities, storage, cannabis, multifamily, industrial, and everything else that we've talked about. As a shareholder of the asset, you have no control of the underlying physical assets and no actual ownership of the assets in the portfolio. However, if you're looking for something super passive, then investing in REITs is pretty passive. When it comes to the type of real estate investor you can be a flipper, you can be a wholesaler, or you can build capital, or you can be a syndicator like Phil and I are, or you can be a passive investor. There's options for everyone. Thank you for listening and happy investing!